Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Blog Talk Radio.
From the training facility to the field with ability, athletes are working hard, the progression is stressing, people are obsessing with the passing. It's the smell of the grass and the pain and the action, the focus, the passion, the thought of the plaque and the trophy all made out to your name. It's some money, it's a fame, it's a feeling to get when you're playing the game. It's a number on your back and the representing name. It's MJ playing way back in the day, it's glorious scoring. This is story, this is Sports Nation, it's been this way for generations. Pro Sports Extras, where I get my information. Athletes with their pursuits and endeavors, sports will entertain the whole world. It'll be this way forever. And for more of that, we going live to Trevor, the expert.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Johnathan Franklin, former Green Bay Packer, current Los Angeles Rams executive. Just want to welcome you all back to Pro Sports Extra.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Trevor. Hope you're having a great night. It is Thursday night, recording this at 11 p.m. Right now, we're waiting on former NFL player Johnathan Franklin to call in. Johnathan Franklin, he will be joining us here live just shortly. He's just calling in right now. Johnathan, are you there?
Absolutely, I'm here.
Awesome. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm happy to be on, and I appreciate you having me as your guest. I've been excited all day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, excited. All right, so I'm just going to hop in here, just ask you a couple questions, and we can talk a little bit about NFL playoffs and whatnot.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so when did you start playing football?
Yeah, so I started playing football, when I was in the 5th grade. It was my first year ever playing football.
Okay, what other sports did you play in, like, high school?
Yeah, so I ran track my high school year, my freshman, sophomore, junior year, and essentially just played football throughout. I love basketball. Okay. Don't get me wrong, it was my favorite sport, but I wasn't really blessed with too many basketball abilities. I didn't go.
Right. So when did you really realize, you said football's been always your thing, when did you realize football was what you were going to pursue?
No, it's interesting because football essentially evolved for me over the years. You know, it was I started playing football in the 5th grade, and more so it was a tool to kind of just help bring my family together in a sense, you know, as we were going through a few things. And then my sophomore year in high school was when I really started taking football seriously and had an opportunity to play, you know, at the next level, you know, speaking college at UCLA, when I realized there was an opportunity there, and it just evolved and became something I was truly passionate about and used as a kind of a tool and a clutch to help me get an education.
Okay, makes sense. So I didn't know this till about 5 minutes before the show. You were a member of a reality TV series?
Yes. So Ball and Heels was a show. Came on BET. Was a reality TV show, and essentially it was for minorities within Baldwin Hills. And Baldwin Hills is more so middle class, upscale neighborhood, and it based off the story of these minorities that are doing great things within Los Angeles. You know, I was a senior in high school at the time. I was going to UCLA. We had a songwriter on the show. We had a model and a few other artists that were essentially just doing positive things. It was more so a way to provide inspiration for minorities and showing the great things that are happening.
Okay. So can you watch that on Netflix or anything?
Hopefully not, man. I was a young, immature kid back then, and there's some things that I do not want to get out there. No, but I'm sure you can find the show. All jokes aside, I'm sure you can find it on the internet or download some seasons. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch a couple episodes.
Uh-oh. Don't change your perspective on it, okay?
I won't. Won't happen.
I appreciate you.
That's awesome. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about your college career. Really, let's talk about your freshman year. What was going through your head? How'd the season play along?
Yeah, it's interesting. What a blessing it's been. Praise God. So I got to UCLA during my freshman year. I got to UCLA playing a safety. I played safety, and then honestly, it was not working out for me. Really, I just had such a heart for playing running back, and honestly, in my opinion, I was better at safety. So I asked our coach, "Can I move to running back?" He moved me to running back, and my freshman year, I was sixth on the depth chart. Was still trying to figure the position out. It was my second year playing, so I ended up redshirting my freshman year, and then came into my redshirt freshman year competing. Six on the depth chart, and we had some great running backs at the time. And through the grace of God and just hard work, I went from sixth to starting by the end of my redshirt freshman year for the first game.
Okay, so at what point through your college career, did you realize that you would have an opportunity to play in the NFL?
I would say, wow. When I got to college, it was an aspiration of mine to play in the NFL, but it really clicked for me, I would say, my senior season. Actually even my freshman year, and I think is more so I was just being pushed, to work hard and just learning more about the next level and to start to develop a true confidence, to have the opportunity to play there.
Okay. So in college, what's your favorite game? What was your favorite game of all time?
Of course, I have to say when we beat USC my senior season at the Rose Bowl. But outside of that, what a blessing it was. I was able to become the UCLA's all-time leading rusher, and that was not one of my favorite games because not just because of the great accomplishment of breaking the record, but just what that meant, not just for me, but for my community. As a young man, minority, attending UCLA and being able to just break so many barriers there and be a walking testimony that, to have a vision and to conquer that vision and that dream, it's possible, and it can become a reality. So that dream was just such a testament, not just for me personally, but for so many people, hopefully within my community, my city, and throughout just the country, people that are inspiring to become something and do something. I hope that I was able to show them by breaking that record that all things are truly possible in spite of your journey and the ups and downs and the roller coaster of life.
Right, that's awesome. Okay, so draft day, kind of take us through what was going through your head, the first and second day. Round 4, the Packers finally call you up. What was your thoughts when the Packers called?
Yeah, it's interesting because to go back to your questions, the first 2 days, so prior to the draft, so you have the first round on Thursday, and Friday you have second and third, and Saturday you have 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was under the impression that I was going to be drafted second round, from what people were telling me. And at the time, my head was in the clouds, thinking I want to get drafted, and I was feeling really good that day. So the Thursday comes, first round pass. I know I wasn't getting drafted that day. Second, third round on that Friday comes. I'm like, this is my day, right? So I was at the time having a documentary film on my life, so I had a camera crew over my house at the time. That Friday, I had my friends, family, and come over and watch the draft with me that day. Friday, thinking and knowing I'm going to be drafted, and maybe I was way too cocky than I should have been. And Friday comes, and I don't get drafted. And it had to be one of the most humbling moments that I had to just deal with and face. But it definitely put things into perspective as well of the business of it and
right.
the faith that I have in not myself, but the God that I praise above. So the next day comes Saturday, and I was so bummed out. So that Friday I just went away to just get a hotel and relax and just get a peace of mind. Saturday morning I came back over to my mom's house, and we just watched the draft. And mainly I just tried to be distracted. I was hanging out with my nephew and nieces and wasn't paying too much attention to it. And before you know it, my phone starts ringing. It says Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And Packers was on the other line and told me they were about to draft me. And instantly tears, start pouring down my face. And what a blessing it was to, conquer a dream, and achieve that.
So what, I gotta ask, how was the transition from LA to Green Bay? Because I'm from the Upper Michigan, so I'm like right by Wisconsin, So what was the transition like? It had to have been crazy.
Absolutely, the city boy coming from 10 million plus people in Los Angeles to a city with max probably 100,000 in Green Bay. It was night and day. Living in LA, 365, you're 70, 80 degrees, maybe 60 at a low to, you got the four seasons, you got below zero. It was my first time seeing snow in Green Bay. It was my first time really seeing the leaves change colors and going through actual fall and the spring, bro. Like, I really appreciated Green Bay a lot because it was a lot of experiences that I had for the first time, as I mentioned, the seasons, and even just a small knit community. It was such a family oriented environment, everywhere I went within Green Bay, where you have so many different pockets in Los Angeles and sectors of it. It's so mass, but everything was, within distance, a small distance in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You could get anywhere within 15, 20, 30 minutes max. In
right.
LA, it takes me sometimes an hour to drive 10 miles, So from all scales, it was a completely different place.
Right. Okay. So let's go back. Week 3, you guys were playing the Bengals. You rushed for 103 yards and scored a touchdown. Take us back to that game. I know you had a fumble at the end of the game. We won't talk too much about that, but what was going through your mind in that game? It was your first actual game really getting the ball.
Yeah, it was awesome, and it was completely unexpected, right? Primarily played special teams going into that game, and then the second to last play, James Starks, the starting running back during that game, because Eddie Lacy, I believe, was out due to concussion the week before during the Redskins. So James Starks get in, and he's having a great game. He's balling. And I believe he ends up with the knee sprain, the second to last play, as I mentioned before, half, and he's out. So the last play of the first half, I go in, and I walk on the field. I'm over here cheesing, man. I'm like, what? I'm on the field, baby? Man, my day was made. My life was made that moment, man. And I was content. I was so happy. And then we go in the locker room, and our Mike McCarthy, giving a subliminal message, gives a speech. People in this room are gonna have to step up, knowing well he's talking about me. I go in the game the second half, and man, I just have fun. I let go, and I put it in God's hands, and I was blessed to have a great game outside of the fumble, which was so unfortunate. But, I was so thankful to, run for 100 yards in the NFL, score a touchdown. What a dream come true.
Right. Okay. Now I'll kind of fast forward here. Week 12, obviously this is something that's probably tough to talk about. You suffered a career-ending injury. What was going through your mind? I'm sure you don't remember all of it, but what was really going through your mind?
Yeah, and I don't think it's tough at all to talk about because what was assumed to be such a devastating part for my life has been such a blessing, an opportunity to share a story of just faith, hope, and vision and identity. So, what happened week 12, we're playing the Minnesota Vikings. First play of the game, first quarter, I'm back at kick return. So the ball is kicked to me. I catch it, run it to the 5, 10, 15. I'm hit right on the top of my helmet, right on the crown, and I get hit, and I slowly black out. And when I hit the ground, after I'm hit, I wake up kind of. So quick blackout, less than a second. And I end up fumbling. Knowing I fumbled, I had to go pick the ball up. As I attempt to go move to pick up the ball, I realize I'm completely paralyzed from my neck down. Couldn't move an inch. Eventually, I get a tingly feeling throughout my hands, to my shoulders, throughout my body, and I'm slowly able to get up after a few moments. Walk to the sideline. Doctor sent me into the locker room. Before fully walking into the tunnel, heading to the locker room, I take a look back on the field. Little did I know that would be my last time looking back as a Green Bay Packer player. I was forced to medically retire from the NFL due to what was called a spinal contusion in my C1, C2 zone. For if I were to ever get hit again, be paralyzed forever, essentially. And my injury was so high in my C1 zone that surgeons didn't want to go inside for a fusion or any surgery for the risk was just way too high. Success was low. So was called to walk away. There was no rehab available. There was nothing I could do to have my neck heal to come back to return to play football. And it was interesting because it was the hardest thing I went through in my life. You think about, a dream. I told you, as a young kid growing up in the inner city, football was my dream and was my way to become something, and it gave me my identity and my purpose, from the confidence, from the joy, from even working out, I worked out to be a running back or to have the starting job, and when the game was taken away, it was, where do I get my confidence from now? How do I work out? What am I working out for? What does that look like now? Where do I get my happiness from? And most importantly, it was like, who is Johnathan Franklin now? My identity was gone. So my whole life, it was just football. So it was this moment in these months of true depression. And what a blessing it's been to just build a foundation and rebuild Johnathan Franklin and develop that identity of confidence, of joy, of now looking in the mirror and knowing that what I see is enough in spite of what I have and don't have, So that injury was such a blessing in disguise. And don't get me wrong, if I could have kept playing, I would have. But I'm so thankful where I am now, and I'm so thankful that it did happen because, the person I am now is 10 times better than the person I was before.
Right.
And it just brings so much clarity on what true happiness is now to me, or what success means, or what joy means, what confidence is, what healing is, what is identity, And I was able to answer all those questions and find in my life and finding still the true purpose of it all.
Right. Okay, so after your career, you ended up, I believe, working for the Packers for a little bit. What kind of role did you have there?
Yeah, wow. We talk about the journey. So when I got done, after my injury, had the opportunity to return home, Mark Murphy, from the president of the Green Bay Packers, reached out via email, had me give him a call, and we end up doing a rotational program for me. So I had opportunity essentially to just bounce around the different departments, from PR to marketing to community outreach, to media relations, to partnerships, and just truly understand how the Packers organization was ran, and more so how the NFL was ran from that brand.
Right. Okay. So after that, you ended up working for the University of Notre Dame. Can you kind of talk about that time as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so, I tell you the blessing in it all, how things work out, and as we go through this chronological order from to where I'm working at now, you're going to see that. So I get to Green Bay, Mark Murphy just reaches out. I have the internship. Well, during my time at Green Bay, I was advised to create what is called a LinkedIn. It's like a professional networking website and an app, So
yeah.
I created LinkedIn, and then within 3-4 weeks, the senior athletic director from Notre Dame reaches out to me via LinkedIn, a message. And eventually he tells me to give him a call. And we start talking. He's like, man, I would love to bring you out here and learn more about you. So I go out to Notre Dame, get out there on a Friday, and they offer me a job that Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So end up accepting the job, taking a leap of faith. And essentially what I did was help develop the community partners for the student athletes and community outreach events, help develop leadership curriculum for the student athletes. Then I led Bible study for all the student athletes as well. So during my time at Notre Dame, working there, things are going well. And out of nowhere, the president, Kevin Demoff of the LA Rams, sends me a text. Never met him in my life, didn't know who he was, but essentially he was like, hey, Johnathan, the Rams are coming back home. If you're interested, we'd love to get on the phone and talk more. Called Kevin. Rams brought me out to Los Angeles, learn more about it, and now look at me finishing my second season with the Los Angeles Rams, It's amazing how life, works out. We think we have this plan. For me, I thought I had a plan of being in the NFL. I was going to be a Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, and, my life was always destined for more than that. And I've realized that from these doors just opening and the journey that I've been able to be on, walk on and journey on. And now with the LA Rams, I have opportunity, to truly help play a part in developing this community and be a light from speaking on behalf of what we're doing or through my story, my transition, and developing the game of football and what it is and pouring into the lives of the youth and those future, NFL stars, hopefully.
Right. Okay. That's awesome. Honestly, thank you for your work. Honestly, you do a lot of work in the community, and I think more people need to see that as well.
Absolutely, it's awesome. It's a blessing. I'm very thankful that I have opportunity to serve, but what a blessing it is to be where I'm at, to do that, and have a platform to impact and inspire. When, it's amazing, brother, because when I look back, I was at such a low point of depression when I got done playing. And now I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. And football's not even, obviously I work for an organization, but I'm not playing football. And that was once my everything. And now I'm my everything, and it feels so good to just transition and grow and just inspire people to just know that being them is enough, or to know that dreams are possible. And when one dream fails or doesn't go the way you want it, you can still dream again and be happy, It's been such an amazing journey. I'm so blessed and thankful.
So kind of take us through your thoughts on the Rams season this year. The LA Rams come back to town. They had an awesome season.
Absolutely. Anytime you go from 4-12 to 11-5, it's something special, right?
Right.
Coach Sean McVay is, he's an amazing leader for an organization. and he's done some great work. Obviously becoming the NFL Coach of the Year. And then you have Todd Gurley, the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, and Aaron Donald, the Defensive Player of the Year. There's three great leaders in itself that does such tremendous work on the field and makes great plays for our organization. And also, great supporting cast with Alec Ogletree. You have Robert Woods, you have Jared Goff, you have Andrew Whitworth, on the line, and Roger Stafford, Johnny Hecker, who has amazing leg. We just have such a great group of leaders and talent and accountability within our organization that truly help, turn things around. And we are on our way, and we're very excited.
Yeah. Okay. So who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year? Tom Brady out the past couple practices. Do you think that's going to affect the Patriots' chances at all?
The Patriots are very experienced. They know how to win. They find a way. But you have a great Jaguars defense, man, that are coming into New England, that are hungry, that are excited, that are young. I think it'll be a great game. I believe it really depends on Blake Bortles. The way he comes in and plays that game and how the Jaguars can control the time of possession and the turnover ratio will really dictate who comes out on top. I believe the Jaguars might have a chance to pull this one off.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'd love to see it happen.
Right. It'll be special.
Anytime the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, it'll be perfect.
So yeah. On the other end, don't get me wrong, I love Tom Brady. He's special. Him, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft has done a phenomenal job. And obviously you can't hold out, Gronk, and you have Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. They're doing a great job. Deion Lewis, I'm just so happy on his return from his ACL and what he's doing for the team. It's going to be a great game. You have a lot of talented athletes up there, and I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. So what about the Vikings and Eagles game? Who do you have in that?
Come on. We got two UCLA. Actually, we got about 5 UCLA Bruins on the Vikings now.
A bunch of them.
Come on. We got Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks. We have Kevin McDermott. We have Dayton Jones. We have Kai Forbath. I got to go for the Vikings, man. Their defense.
You got the Vikings winning it all then?
Absolutely. Wow. I would hope. You know what? I'm rooting for my guys. I'm rooting for my Vikings, man. I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome.
I'm rooting for my Bruins, rather, not my Vikings. I'm rooting for my Bruins.
Yeah, your Vikings.
I would love to see them. I would love to see them with a ring.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Host the Super Bowl and everything. That'd be crazy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we only got a couple minutes left, so I guess we'll just wrap it up here. Johnathan, where can the fans find you at on Twitter and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me at jfrank2308 on Twitter. Give me a follow, and love to give you a follow back.
All right, sweet. Johnathan, thanks for hopping on here. We'd love to have you on again.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. It's been fun.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the podcast here now. You can subscribe on iTunes at Pro Sports Extra. Check us out at prosportsextra.com. I'm Trevor. Peace out.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.